if you really want to shut down a party and start a rock throwing contest, start talking about immigration. Because there is something going on in immigration that goes beyond the letter of the law, that goes beyond the notion of what is fair, and it's almost as if the American people have been worked up to this point. There are so many illegal immigrants that reason tends to fly out the window all of a sudden. It's gone beyond a question of legality, hasn't it?
It's become bigotry, intolerance, and prejudice. And prejudice is defined as prejudging an entire group of people. You know, if you're mugged by a black man, then they say that all black men are criminals. That's prejudice. And that's what we're doing with undocumented workers in this country right now. There are some of those workers who sponge off the system, just like there are some American citizens who sponge off the system. But not all undocumented workers are doing that. Many are working very hard. Many are paying taxes. They're criticized because they don't become citizens of this country. But it's virtually impossible for them to attain citizenship. That is the status that they want. They want to be law-abiding citizens. They want to do what is proper. By us keeping their status illegal, we force them underground. We force them to hide. We force them to take cash from their employers. And now communities want to deprive them of housing, deprive them of jobs, deprive them of hospitalization. This just forces them further underground, where maybe they have to commit crimes simply to live. This is no way to treat these people. They are in our country. Maybe they shouldn't have come across, but we made the mistake and we let them in. Now we need to do something about it, and we should do something positive. We need to give them a legal status here, like a guest worker, something positive where they will come forward and register, they will pay their taxes. If they commit a crime, we can ship them back across the border, but we can't haul out 12 million people. It's impossible to do. So we need to give them some sort of valid status so that they can be productive members of this society.
And I do think this is one area where it's time to out the dummies, because everybody has heard this argument. They can't be in this country because they broke the law. And that's always used. That is the part of the argument.
What part of not breaking the law do they not understand?
Yeah, how do you not get it? Well, so that you know, and I'm not sure that everybody does know this, if depending on the country that you're from, that is the timetable that determines how quickly you can get into the United States. Not all countries have the same standing. If you're from Mexico, in order for you to become a legal citizen, you'll wait for the rest of your life. It's essentially impossible. I think it's north of 25 years now. I don't know that for a fact, but I know it's something on that order.
All the immigration attorneys that I've talked to have said it's virtually impossible for Mexicans to gain citizenship. And, you know, they want to do this. I just think that we cannot jump on this bandwagon of prejudice against all these people. I mean, after all, if any one of us were living in Mexico and wanted ourselves and our family to have a better life, we probably would have come across the border just like they did. And we say they're illegal, and we equate illegality with murder and mayhem and burglary, but what they really are is undocumented workers. They haven't broken the law except to come to a place where they can get a job and support their family. We should not be demonizing these people. We need to figure out a better approach, and we need to ignore the hate mongers.
And that's the bigger issue, is that we can't make it impossible, because we see what happens. They'll simply come under the fence. That's exactly what has happened. We have to come up with something more reasonable. There has to be a way to do it, and if we can't do that, then let's just go ahead and say to employers, you can't hire these people, then there's no incentive for them to come over. But that's something that will never happen.
Well, you know, I know we've taken a little long on this, but I just want to say also that we need to figure out a status for these people that are already here. And if we don't want to give them citizenship, then they should have a guest worker status. We need to somehow try to close down the borders so that these people don't come in, but get everyone that is here now to properly register so that we know where they are and who they are. We know that they have jobs, that they're contributing members of society. And then after that, we can say anyone that doesn't have this document documentation, cannot have jobs, cannot have housing, cannot go to the hospital, and that will be a disincentive for others to come across the border. But we've got to give some benefits to the people that are already here.
And that's how you control entitlements. That's how you take certain things off the table for people that are here at a different status, because not all of us are created equal. American citizens come first. That's all there is to it. But to simply ignore that these people are here and have worked every day and have put money in the system, paid into Social Security, it's just not facing up to reality.
It's a question of basic humanity. These are human beings just like us, and we need to treat them that way.